Right, I think we may be going live.
Yeah.
Seems to be in the corner.
Okay, shall I kick off stuff then? So I'm going to kick off. We are at the Crossroads College, and we're actually in the back rooms, which are a bit of a hammam. And I'm interviewing or hearing the resume of these three people who've come forward from Lucine Decamario's call out to the unwashed and the lower parts of society for mercenaries to come and help us. Keriff Salmon, I see your name here. So explain, who are you and what expertise can you bring?
Why do you ask?
Well, you've come here for a job, haven't you?
I kill people, yes. And
okay.
I don't have to tell you who I am, do I?
Well, if you want me to hire you, you do.
Yeah. Well, I'm very skilled at eliminating people. Yes.
And other than that, what other skills do you have?
I can disappear.
Okay, infiltration, that could be useful. Okay.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to tell me about yourself or your background? Your
why
CV? Again, I'm about to employ you, possibly.
Yes. But,
in which case, I feel it's entirely justified.
Maybe it's best for you if you don't know. No, right?
Okay, that's fine. Maybe it's best for you if you don't know how much I'm going to pay you at the end of this as well. Then. Okay,
no.
Ghazi Malouf, let's talk to you. See if you're a bit more open.
I am Ghazi Malouf. Salam, nice to meet you. I'm a tech dealer normally, but I'm taking a bit of time off. And just looking for some other work. And I'm a bit handy with a sword, so I should be able to help you out, I think.
Okay. And what's your background? Where do you come from?
Oh, Coriolis, born and bred, always.
Are you Zenithian then, by that count? Yes. Yeah. Good. Cool. Okay. Kassim, tell me about yourself.
Well, as you know, my reputation precedes me. I know that my contacts have been very good in explaining my skills to you. I know this place. I know the planet below. And I'm trying not to draw too much attention as I leave. But I do need money.
So there's already some kind of mark on you, is there? Some kind of warrant? Is there Ijma Earth warrant against you?
Of course not.
Okay. Well, I need help. The immediate mission is a rescue mission. I'm hoping there won't be the need for too much disposing of people. We're not in this to kill the people we're after. Well, we might be, but not straight away. We are in this to try and rescue my business partner and my friend Yaquob Nassar, and I'll show them a picture of him so they know who he is. I have reason to believe he's been captured by rogue Zenithian elements who are using the sanatorium as a base of operations. I have some insight into the design, setup, architecture of this place, and our job will be to go in quietly as possible and extract Yaquob alive. Yes, Keriff. Your microphone.
Did you say Zenithian elements? I thought this was about
Zelosian elements.
Yeah, I think you did say Zenithian actually.
Yes,
definitely meant Zelosian.
I meant Zelosian. I love Zenithians. They're fine. Zenithians.
You had me worried there for a while.
You're okay. So you're Zenithian as well. That's good to know. So, any objections to that as a mission under my direction, of course?
Now we can do that, can't we, lads? We can do that. So easy. Sounds easy enough.
Yes. It's for a
Okay.
good cause.
It is
Do
for a good
you want to,
cause.
Dave, show them the map that you got from Brother Ramas in the last episode? When I say Dave, I mean Oshian.
Yes, I think I will, and we will use that as.
That's not. That is not the map. Forgive me.
So-
I had that all lined up.
So guys, you'll never have seen this map before. It's one- and it's a
Let's
map
just
of
try that.
Coriolis.
Oh no! Why is that?
A map.
That's the same one again.
It's a
That
You'll
one,
see
have you-
Brother Rames's
Have you
map
got
at
it
the top.
now? Are you seeing the map now?
We've
Only-
seen
only
the
the one
station
of-
map.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the one you got. Is Brother Rames's map? Handout number 3. That's all I can give you.
Wow.
But it does show if you zoom in. I'd love to zoom in now. I've got a proper computer. That the sanatorium is here, and there are some ways down here
Down. Okay.
to get there. Okay.
The map I've got of the sanatorium, does that show where I think Tony's likely being held?
It shows various sub-levels of the sanitarium that weren't obvious on your last visit. Basement levels. So there's
Okay.
quite a lot of that to explore, and there's nothing necessary that indicates one place. There's nowhere that says we keep prisoners here or anything.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we will need to covertly break into these lower levels, search them, find Yaquob. I did say earlier that we're not really here to kill people, but frankly, doing this quietly is more important than saving Zalosian lives. So if we need to kill Zalosians that we find there, then so be it.
Excellent.
So Matthew, do I know where looks like the best place to try and actually infiltrate the sanatorium? Where do we get in?
Yeah, there's enough clues in that map that will give you +2 on infiltration.
Okay, cool.
To avoid the main public areas.
Okay, from my new associates, which of you are skilled in the arts of infiltration?
Well, I am. Of
Excellent.
course.
Yeah, I can make myself a bit scarce, you know.
Cool. Good. Kassim, I assume you have similar skills.
I'm better at making the point of entry much larger.
You mean noisily larger?
I mean, an explosive entrance.
Okay. Let's save that for the quick exit, shall we, rather than the entrance? Okay.
So
I think I'm going to load up and let's crack on. Let's get on with it.
do any of the new hirees need any other questions answered before I cut to Tony? No, they're all good.
No.
Okay.
If this goes well, there may be further work coming your way potentially.
And just to remind you, Lucian offered on the original advert 2,000 burr to be split among the 3 of you before the adventure, before the mission, and on the successful completion, 2,000 burr to be split among the survivors. Right. I'm going to say that because Dave didn't like spending all that money, but I'm going to make it clear.
It seemed quite
That's what he
pricey
signed
to
up
me. I'm going to have some words with Lucine.
Right. Okay. He will also talk to you about your drinks debt. So, Tony, we left you last waking up in a hospital bed.
Yep.
You are fit. Your groin aches. It's It's quite bruised, but you feel fit and able. You're not limping at all. Sister Robwa smiled at you enigmatically and left the room. What do you want to do?
So is anyone else left in the room?
No, it's a private. It looks like a sort of private. It's like an American hospital room as opposed to a British ward, shall we say?
Am I restrained at all?
No.
Okay, I'll get up out of bed and just move around a bit just to make sure, just to get a sense of how my body is behaving, how knackered it is, whether I'm kind of
you
back
are
to...
fully recovered. You can have all your hit points back, and obviously so can you, Dave.
Is there
cool.
a window or anything in the room?
No. All the lighting is artificial, and there are no windows.
Presumably there's a door.
Yes, there is.
I'll have a look at the door, see if it's locked.
Look at the door or through the door.
Well, if it has a window, I should look through the door then.
It has a window. The corridor outside is not as well lit and hospital-like as the room you're in.
How far can I
looks
see?
like some sort of medieval dungeon.
Excellent. So how far can I see in each direction?
With the angle of the window and the level of the light, about 20 yards. There's nobody there before you ask.
Okay. I just have kind of a quick look around the room to see what's in the room, what machinery.
There's the usual sort of monitors, none of which were plugged into you. There's an empty drug dispenser, but it doesn't have any drugs in. There's a little cabinet.
I should have looked through the cabinet, see if there's anything in there that might be of use.
Nothing that you owned.
Am I dressed in some sort of hospital gown
you
type
are
thing?
Dressed in a hospital jalaba.
Yeah. And there's no kind of communications device on the wall or means of calling out to...
There's a button to press
or something,
for,
just a button.
For pain relief and calling nurse and things like that.
Nothing I could conceivably hack to try and get a message out.
I would give you a attempt to. It's not. It's more sophisticated than a button, so it would be a -3 on your hacker though to on your data gin.
Okay, so that means it's unlikely. I'll have a go. I'll have a look at this thing, see if I can work out how to hack it to try and get a message out to Oshian. I get no successes, and I probably won't bother pushing that, I don't think. I should go and have a look at the door and see if I can open it. What kind of door is it? Is it like an electronic door, or can I just pull or push the door to open it?
It's locked, but it doesn't look like an electronic lock.
What would I need to try and pick the lock?
I guess that would be infiltration. If I'd made it an electronic lock, which maybe I should have done, it would have been Data Spider. But
okay. Infiltration.
Yeah.
I will have an attempt to see if I can open this lock. I'd get 2 successes.
Oh right, okay. So so yeah, it's a relatively old-fashioned lock, and it's very easy to pick. You probably found some sliver of metal, and syringe or something to help you do it. And yes, you've opened the door.
So I'll have a quick look out to see if I can see anybody around or hear anybody nearby.
No.
I will have another quick look around.
Looking around in terms of orientating yourself.
Yeah.
Again, there's no natural light here.
You said it's like a dungeon, so are the walls kind of rocky rather than kind of finished?
Not rocky. You're on a space station, but
yeah. Somebody would have had to deliberately make it look like a dungeon because they
well,
wanted
no,
that effect.
It's got
like the Maniac.
tiling, religious tiling on the walls, sort of mosaics, and the mosaics are showing, you can only assume, great victories of the Portal Wars. You're not particularly au fait with Zolossian culture, so
No.
it doesn't mean very much to you. But I guess not like a dungeon on second thoughts, more like a sort of crypt. There are, though, apart from the mosaic walls which curve over into the ceiling, there are thoroughly modern pipes running alongside it. I say thoroughly modern, old, dripping, some of them, but sort of out of place with the medieval feel that your first glance initially had.
I'm going to just quickly nip back into the room and search around again, just see if I can find anything that could conceivably be used as a weapon, like even if it's just like a syringe or something.
Okay, roll a. No, we don't have observation in this, do we?
Yeah, we do. We do have observation.
Observation we do have. Sorry, I'm
Yes.
just so confused about the different skill sets of the different.
Get your games right, mate. Come on.
We do have observation. I get 1 success for observation. I'll stick with that.
Okay, well, for 1 success, I will let you take a sort of a bar off the bed. There's restraint, things to stop people rolling out of the bed, and you can unscrew one of those and turn it into a sort of pole, which will give you at least a sort of melee weapon.
Okay, I'm going to again try and sneak out, have a look in both. So is this room like on a corridor, or is it kind of an open area?
Yeah.
So I'm looking both directions. What can I
there's
see?
there's
anything
other
about where it
doors,
goes?
other rooms around here. Instinctively, you think that one end of the corridor is more likely to have a staircase than the other.
Okay, well, I shall head in the direction that I instinctively think that is likely to have a staircase. I shall be as stealthy as I can, listening out for any approaching footsteps.
It seems relatively quiet. And as you get to a corridor, you can see there's an elevator, and beside that, a set of steps. The elevator you would have to call.
Do the steps go up or up and down, or
Both
direction?
up and down.
And as I'm going along this corridor, there's just kind of checking again if there's any kind of like nurse's station or something, or any little pods with any equipment in that. And then again, I might better hack to try and get
It strikes you that you're on a floor that used to be relatively busy. There is the wherewithal of a nurse's station and things like that, but it actually feels deserted and disused for some time.
Okay, I'm going to go to the staircase then and start heading up.
Okay.
Again, slowly and kind of as I reach the next floor.
Okay.
Creeping up and peering over to see what I can see before I commit to going up.
You realise from the numbers sort of worked into the mosaic on the wall on this floor and the staircase that you have been on the 3rd floor, or should I say the 3rd level of the basement, and you're heading up towards the 2nd level. The staircase is much the same on the 2nd level, but as you look out into the corridor there, it seems a little busier or a little more well used.
So there's still not so many people around, no?
You're not there. There's no great bustling people. You're at the moment you're alone. But you feel that you're more likely to meet people on this floor than downstairs.
Okay, can I just keep going up the stairs then? So this is now the 2nd basement level.
Yeah. The 1st basement level, I'd like you to make an observation roll.
I get 2 successes on my observation roll.
Okay, so as you're going up the stairs, you can hear the sounds of somebody walking by. Given your 2 successes, I'll let you pass them on to an infiltration roll if you want to see who they are and what's going on, or you can just stay down here and
Well, I think I will just, my infiltration is not great. So I think I will probably just stay out of sight till I think they've passed.
so you're going to let them go past?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Not being reckless this time, are you now?
Valid point.
That's okay. It's okay. Just don't ask the experience point later.
Well, we'll see what happens later. Fully told them to be reckless yet.
Yeah, so you didn't particularly see who they were. You just kept your head down. The sound seems to drift off, but again, listening really carefully, there seems to be more of a buzz of activity on this floor.
This staircase, is it in a stairwell or is it open to the corridors?
It's in a stairwell, yeah.
Okay, I'll go up another floor then.
Okay. This is an area that you're familiar with. So well, not directly familiar with, but this looks like the ground floor of the sanatorium as you visited last time. You didn't see it all by any means, but you're actually...
Do I kind of recognize the area that it's in? So if I kind of came in the main entrance again, would I be able to find my way here?
Some distance from the main entrance, but from the signs on the walls, and here there's less tiling generally, but there are tiled panels that give instructions about where various parts are. So you think you can find your way out from here, but you are painfully aware of the fact that you're in a hospital jalaba.
Yeah.
Which I imagine probably has its fastenings down the back. You can feel a bit of a cool breeze on your bare buttocks.
Okay. What do I want to do? Do I want to get out of here? I guess I do, because I haven't seen.
You are unaware
map,
of anybody
so
coming to rescue you or anything like that.
Well, I'm working on the assumption that Oshian probably is on his way, but if I can get out before he gets here and get word to him, then that's probably...
Right, up here, you feel you can probably find, with a bit of discretion, you can probably find a discarded comms tablet or station in one of the offices here. So you think it'd be a lot easier to get word from Tom, word out to.
Okay, what I also try to look for is something else to wear other than this.
Okay.
So looking around where I am, then, are there any doors or anything that I can see that looks like they might be rather offices or something like that, or like a nurses or monks?
Yes. So you're you feel very much that you're not on the sort of public wards of this. That's why you haven't seen it before. You feel this feels like an administrative and storage area. There may be doctors' offices here. There may be sort of operating theatres and stuff like that.
Okay, I'm going to just head for the nearest likely looking door, have a kind of listen at it, and then if I don't hear anything from the other side, kind of duck in.
Okay, make an infiltration roll for me, please.
Oh dear.
I'll still give you the +2 that you had from your previous one.
Okay, thank you. I still get no successes, but I think I will push this one.
Okay.
So have a darkness point. I get 1 success now.
Okay, 1 success. As you listen at that door, you feel there's somebody in there. It's not like a conversation or anything. You just feel, there's a few movements that says somebody might be sitting at a desk.
Okay. I probably don't want to be discovered at this point. So are there other likely looking rooms nearby that I can move along to?
There are indeed.
I will move on to the next room then and see if I can find an empty room.
Given the what's what I'm looking for?
Don't really know, Matthew.
Given that you now feel, you got a sense of how to tell which rooms are occupied and which aren't. Won't make you make another roll, but you can find down the corridor an empty office.
Okay, I shall head into the empty office and have a look round. If I can see some sort of comms tabula, the first thing I will do will be to try and hack into that and get a message out to Oshian.
Okay. You can. You don't need a hack. You know, this is a public telephone, as it were.
Okay.
So unless you want to hide your involvement in some way, you can just dial his address.
Well, I probably do want to hide.
Okay, then.
My involvement.
Make a data spider roll.
Okay, that's one success.
Okay, you think you've deleted the record of the call as you make it. Dave, your comms tabula starts to alert you.
But I'm far too busy. I'm just going to divert to voicemail.
Voicemail.
It's an unknown number. It's not it's nobody you've heard of before. Dr. Rashid or something.
Okay. I'll answer it with Nassar and Ispartha Investigation Services. How can I help you?
Oshian, it's me, Yaquob. They've been holding me. I'll be cryptic in case somebody discovers me, because obviously I assume you're coming to rescue me. So I'll give you, in case I get caught again, I'll give you the information you need to hopefully to find me.
Okay.
They've been holding me in a basement level. I'll describe as far as I can where I am.
Is there a window in that room?
Well, no, but there is Matthew saying there are kind of signs on the wall on the level I'm on now, kind of saying where we are.
Are you still underground then, do you think?
You're on the ground floor.
I'm on the ground floor. So, like I say, there are signs here, so I can identify the area that I'm in now, where I've come up. So assuming if I do get caught, and I'm assuming I'm taken back to where I was before, I'm going to tell him where the staircase is. It's staircase 52. And I was in the third basement level in a room there. I'm going to try and get out, obviously. If I don't make it, that's where I'll likely be.
How far through our planning are we? Are we still just in the hammam?
No, I thought you might be on your way now, having had that briefing scene that you did before.
Just one thing, I was just the end of the last session, I said to you I was going to invest in some protective clothing.
Yes.
So I've done that.
Have you? Right. Yes, you have done that.
I've taken the money off.
You didn't tell me what it was.
It's just protective clothing. It's 1,000 burr for 3 armor. It's a fucking rip-off. 1,000 burr for 3 armor.
Coriolis prices. What can you do?
Almost as bad as these monkeys I've got joining me for this bloody trip.
But you're robbing me, said the market holder who was doing it. I'm robbing myself, giving it to you at this price.
It's a lot of money for incontinence.
It's a lifetime supply, though, Phil.
Challenge accepted.
Washable. Anyway,
did you assume
how close
that?
Are we then, Matt?
Sorry.
How close to the sanatorium are we?
You are not far at all.
Okay, and having looked at the plans that I've got, where we were planning to enter, where is that in relation to stairway 52 and the third sub-level?
You think you can find a course there that, as I say, to get there undetected would be infiltration +2.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Well, I'm not brilliant at it. I'm not bad at it, but maybe when I can get one of my mercenaries who is better at infiltration than me to lead the way on that one.
Okay. We don't have to do. It's the worst person with infiltration on this game, do we?
Hope not. So what's your plan then, Yaquob? Are you going to try and work your way closer to public areas? Or...
Yeah, so I'm going to try and find something to wear other than this flimsy hospital gown I'm wearing, and then I'm basically just try and walk out the front door if I can.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, you try and do that. We will come in and try and get between you and your room, effectively, or that stairwell, and then we will come out in your direction as well. Because I think if they see us on the outside, that might stir them up. If they see me coming back with 3 heavily armed blokes. Okay, so we'll stick with the plan. You see if you can get out. If you do get out, give me a call.
Yeah, we'll do. We'll do.
Right.
Okay.
So Tony, Yaquob can put the phone down. Can I get you to make an observation roll, please?
That's no successes.
No successes.
Yeah, I'm not going to push
so
that.
As you turn around from, do you want to push that?
No,
No.
I'm not going to push that.
As you turn around, doctor who doesn't look like a particularly zealous Samaritan. He looks like one of the medical students that comes from one of the other factions. But he's leaning on the side of the door saying, are you lost, sir?
Yes, I was in the room and I just went for a walk and I can't find my way back.
Confused, is it?
Apparently so.
Have you been traveling through portal space recently?
Yes. How did you know?
Well,
that's uncanny.
A lack of memory as well. Do you know where you are, sir?
Well, I'm in this nice office room.
Yeah, but you don't know what building this room is in?
Well, no, I'll go and have a look. I shall try and walk past him and walk off.
No. And he puts out his hands to stop you. I think you may not be feeling terribly well. How many fingers am I holding up? And he holds up 3 fingers.
3 fingers. I can still count.
Okay,
I'm trying to push past.
Watch this one finger now as it moves.
I'm not watching the finger.
Your eyes.
I'm just trying to move. I'm just trying to walk past him.
He struggles against you. He's not going to let you go. So you're going to use force against him?
Yeah, I'll just push him. I'm not going to try and hit him or hurt him. I'm just going to try and push him out of the way.
Okay, I guess that's going to be a force to force roll.
So
he for your care, I think he thinks he's got to find out where you are and get you safely back to your bed. And he does quite well.
Well, I don't do at all well.
Okay,
so I probably won't bother pushing.
Very gently but quite firmly, he doesn't let you push him. He pushes your arms down to the side, sort of wraps his arm around your shoulders and says, "Let's see if we can find out where you belong. Can you remember your name?"
My name. That's a good question. I think it's Ramos.
Yeah, I feel the worst of this one. And he leads you towards a ward, which is, you can see clearly marked hyper sickness. And a couple of other slightly burly male nurses come and they greet him, and he says, "I think this is one of your patients. You should keep a closer eye on him."
Thank you for your concern. I think I'm feeling much better now. I'll just go carry on my walk if that's right.
No, I don't think so. I think we should find your bed. And the other nurses, you're feeling quite outnumbered, and these are the sort of nurses who deal with people who, shall we say, have their very selves, their psyches have been warped by the horrors of unprotected portal space. So they're quite wary. They say, "Oh, he doesn't seem to have a wrist tag or anything." They're feeling your arms, but you can't escape from them.
Okay.
Well, unless you actually want to really try to escape from them.
I think I probably don't at this point. I don't want to attract attention to myself particularly.
They gently peel your fingers apart from the bit of the bed that you had as a weapon, and they carefully put that to one side. And it's going to be a nightmare working out who he is and where he should be. And one of them looks at him and says, "Can you sedate him?" I think that might be the easiest thing to do. To the doctor. The doctor says, "I can't sedate somebody without proper authorization. Let's call Sister Robwa." And so they page Sister Robwa. Again, you've got one guard kind of with you, holding your arms on either side. The other guards turn to the comm station to page Sister Robwa, and the doctor's kind of standing by. Obviously, he is a kind of medical student. He's less certain about how he can be useful here. But the psychiatric nurses seem to really know how to deal with this.
Okay, I think I'm not going to resist anymore, actually, because I think I could try and run away, but they'll probably will then sedate me if they catch me. And if Sister Robber comes, she'll recognize me, and I'll probably get put back where I was, and in fact where I explained to Oshian I was, rather than being put in some other random ward. So I think I should wait quietly for Sister Robber.
And sure enough, she comes. "Yaquob, Yaquob." She hears. You hear her say
sister.
before she appears around the corner, and
Yaquob, that's it. That's my name. Yes. I remember now. It's coming back to me.
I didn't know that you suffered any concussion last night in the park. Let us get you to your room. Is on -3, he says. She says to the psychiatric nurses, and they go, "Ah." And you can feel their grip on you tighten at this point. And they're leading you to the elevator.
I think I shall go without resisting.
Okay. They take you downstairs to the 3rd floor again. They notice you've picked the lock, and Sister Robwa suggests that we use another more secure room, and they take you further down the corridor.
Down the same corridor.
Same
corridor.
Yeah. Further down the corridor, and this room is generally got a heavier door. It's got padded walls, and they put you in there, and you can hear not just the basic door lock closing shut, but also a kind of heavy bolt going across as well. Right, shall we join the others?
It's probably about time.
So you're approaching the sanitarium.
Yes, in a suitably, in the correct manner for our intent to infiltrate the place.
So the sanitarium is surrounded by gardens, and what you have from Brother Ramas is a plan of the gardens, and particularly some maintenance doors that aren't kind of on the public circuit, but they're easily publicly accessible in the gardens around the sanitarium.
Okay, cool. Presumably we can now plan out our intended route to get down to the 3rd basement level.
Yeah.
And is there any way of doing that through maintenance corridors or anything?
Yeah, so these doors are
rather
sort of
than
maintenance. They
corridors.
go
right
down to the 1st level already, which is a kind of maintenance area. Minus 1st level, I should say. 1st basement level.
Yeah. Keriff, if my assumption is correct, you are you are going to be an expert at infiltration.
Yes.
Would you like to lead this part of the
Uh,
operation?
sure.
And I will offer you some help with an extra dice, Matthew. I assume I can do that.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Anyone got any concerns before we kick this off?
So just say it's +2 from the information that Ramus gave you, and you're offering some help as well. So +3 dice.
+3 dice. I'm running out of dice. Oh, okay, let's.
That's a
good
nice
sign.
situation to be in.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
Unless he's only got 3 dice. Yeah.
So that's 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, so you can lead the group
Mhm.
through the gardens to the route that's kind of closest to the elevator and the stairwell that Yaquob described.
Let's do that.
So we.
And you go down there, and again, you are struck by how old-fashioned these basement levels look. This area that you're in right now is kind of. You go down some steps out of the garden to a door that isn't locked. You go through that door. Immediately, you're struck by this being a sort of service area. So the corridors are kind of full of bits and things that have been stored here and then kind of forgotten about, or some things, even as you walk down the corridors, that you realize are being stored here only temporarily and will be carted off somewhere soon.
Are there things like maintenance overalls and stuff down here that we could put on?
Make a -1 observation to look for that.
Okay. That gives me six dice at -1. Okay. I get 2 successes.
You do happen to find a relatively recent delivery of coveralls from the local safety and personal protective equipment.
Are you telling me that I can get 3 armor personal protective equipment here and I didn't have to buy it?
No. Oh, yes.
Okay. I suggest we each put one of these on, gentlemen. Help us blend in a little bit if we get seen by anyone.
They do all have the stylized sigil of the Samaritans on, the sort of starburst sun or crown of thorns, however you want to interpret it. So you are kind of covered for infiltration. I'll give everybody maybe a +1 on infiltration rolls, if necessary, or on manipulation, possibly if you're confronted. Okay, you can find your way down to the 3rd floor relatively easily, and you can avoid there's it's not busy on the 1st level, but it's quite easy to avoid the people that are there. When you get down to the 3rd floor, it's empty again. There is no security.
Can we keep an eye open for cameras and any other sort of covert security devices?
Yes, you can. Somebody want to make an observation roll at -1?
I've got 7 dice in observation.
So Kassim will actually will speak up and say, you seem to know exactly what we're doing here as Partha. Do you want to see what you can find? As out of character, because I have command. So
right. So you're saying roll your command dice.
See if I can help.
Give me extra dice.
Yeah, that'll give you an extra 2 dice.
Oh, wow. For this observation roll. Okay, cool. After all that, I get 1 success.
Well, it's better than -1 success, obviously.
That's very true.
Well, you don't think you're being observed.
Okay. They didn't seem to, from what Yaquob told me on the phone, they didn't seem to observe him leaving. So we're probably safe. Okay. Can we find the room that he described?
Yes, you can, but there it's empty.
Maybe made
It's
it out.
probably, I imagine that he, since you told him to leave, he's probably out already.
Should we just go then, guys? Job done.
Easy
Come
money.
Yeah.
For some reason I have a prickling in my thumbs that we might not be quite finished down here.
Prickling in your thumbs, eh? Or is that meta knowledge? Are you listening on the concept?
It's a circulation problem, isn't it?
Must stop
Um,
smoking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's have a little look in the room. Can we get in the
Yeah.
room that we think is his?
Well, yeah, because the lock's been been unpicked.
Okay, can we find anything of his in here?
Look round.
Not really. Actually, no, not really.
Bed.
I was just thinking, had
Things.
you actually checked the cabinet, I would have left your clothes in the cabinet if you hadn't checked it. But
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, it's very sparse. There's definitely been somebody in here. You know, there is an unmade bed, but no real clue that it's Tony.
Okay. Well, whilst we're here, we might as well check the place out. We don't know what happened to Yaquob. He may well have escaped, but he hasn't called me yet to say
You know,
yes.
he was on the phone to you for a long time. Maybe he was caught.
It's quite possible. So if this room is no longer lockable, they might have put him somewhere else.
Something else.
Okay.
That's good logical thinking.
Heading down the corridor, you see, looking through the little windows, you come to heavier doors with far smaller windows. And looking in one of those, that does appear to be locked, and it's a big, heavy door. You can look in and see a sort of padded cell, and your friend Yaquob, looking quite glum, sitting on the bench.
Like,
I'm not glum. I know Oshian's coming to rescue me. I'm fine.
it's like mashed banana time, Yaquob. Okay.
None of you bought any spare clothes or weapons for Tony?
No, but we do
No.
have coveralls. We can wear one of the
Yeah.
coveralls.
Yeah, okay.
He can have one of my
Give him an
grenades.
extra
It'll be
pair of those
fine.
coveralls. Okay,
can we get-
I'll believe you. Thousands wouldn't.
Can we get the door open then? Is it easy?
Yeah, who's got a good infiltration roll to get this door open? Because it is locked. It's a more sophisticated lock.
Keriff's job, isn't it?
Yeah, Keriff,
Yeah,
can you open
if
the
it
door?
is an infiltration role and not a technology role, but
Yeah, it's still quite old-fashioned metal stuff.
I can
Right.
offer a dice of
Yeah.
help again if that helps.
I can tell you what to do if that helps.
Unlock that. Here, have a dice. Excellent.
right. No
I can't
other
anyway.
pluses, right? Just the help.
No
points
other
from-
pluses. No.
3 successes.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Not only do you unlock the door, but you impress everybody while you're doing
Yes,
it.
You unlock it twice as good.
You unlock it with a nasal hair
It's
or
a-
something.
yeah.
Critical unlock.
Yeah. My
Yaquob
Mercurian sword.
reunited with Oshian and 3 somewhat dodgy-looking people.
Yeah, Oshian, thanks for
Oh.
dropping in. Nice to see you.
Ouch.
Who are you? Who are your new friends?
These are some expensive mercenaries that we've come and help break you out of here.
Excellent. Nice to meet you, gentlemen. Thanks for coming.
I should give Yaquob my Zelosian overalls,
Okay.
Matthew.
Right.
And
Well, yeah, and
and-
what you're getting out of them, the ones you're wearing, you mean?
yeah, he can have the ones that I put on over my protective clothing. And I'll give him my Vulcan pistol.
Okay.
So I've still got my carbine.
You've still got the carbine, and is that a cricket or
No, just there's a Vulcan carbine and a Vulcan pistol.
Pistol.
Are
Okay.
the two things I've got. Yeah.
What are the stats for the Vulcan pistol?
+1, +1, 2, 2.
So, you are.
I guess we try and go out the way we came in, gentlemen.
Or you can go this, if you remember, is a secret route down into the cellar from these basements.
Yeah, there were definitely stairs when I was heading out. There were stairs going further down than this.
So, gentlemen, I now introduce you to part 2 of the mission.
Which is
Yeah.
It's another missing. It's a continuation of a search and rescue for a person called Noor. I think that's right, Tony, isn't it? We're looking for Noor down below.
We are indeed, yes.
You're not getting paid to find Noor.
Yes,
Not
they
a
are.
fan
Oh,
of
this is
surprises.
very expensive for like half an hour's work, frankly.
Yeah, especially walking down some stairs and unlocking the
Walking
door.
out again. I could
Without
But on my
revealing
own.
anything to the other characters, you've been paid to find somebody else and rescue and extract somebody else. Do I need to remind you who that person is? Or are you being particularly obtuse with these characters that you don't trust, or
no, I just can't remember.
shall I remember? So let me remind you that the emissary went.
Emissary missing.
Oh, that was.
Remember?
Oh yeah.
Oh, the emissary. Yeah, him.
And Judge Kurakan paid you a considerable amount of money, and
That's true. We're not being paid to find Noor at all, are we? That's
yeah,
just a
no.
That's just a side
Not
job.
got you into this, but what you're actually being paid for is to get the emissary back from this group that have taken her apparently down to the cellar.
Back from being lost.
Are you explaining that to your colleagues?
Yeah, I think, yes, gentlemen, well done for passing this very simple little test of your expertise. I can now reveal to you the full extent of the mission you signed up for. We are charged with finding and rescuing the lost emissary, who we believe is down in the cellar.
the emissary.
The emissary.
Sounds like a high-profile job.
Yes.
Well,
I dislike surprises, and I don't
this-
feel we've been fairly compensated for such a task.
this is we haven't got any more bloody money, so if you know, it's up to you. If you don't want to get paid, then so be it.
Find your own way out of the hospital.
So
No, fine, I'll stay.
The reason we've been employed to do this is to make it a low key and low profile operation rather than a high key and high profile operation. The powers that be could easily have taken much more extreme action, I guess is the way of putting it, but that would have been very high profile. Our objective is to do this as quietly as possible. And considering the importance of the emissary to the health and the future welfare of the Third Horizon, I suspect those involved in their rescue will have a very bright future going forward.
He's rich.
Got a point there.
How rich?
Great
He's
big
got
tracts
more
of
wealth than you
land.
can imagine.
No, I can imagine quite a bit.
Can I ask Keriff how you feel about rescuing the emissary? You haven't yet revealed anything about your true origins, but I just want to get a.
Yes. Isn't this is not a trap, is it?
This is not a trap at all, no.
Well, if it is a trap,
Yeah.
we're walking into it as well.
Well, yeah.
So
We're not setting a trap. Can't guarantee that somebody else isn't.
Keriff is somewhat torn inside. He wants to kill as many of the Salosians as possible, but at the same time, the emissaries, they seemed like blasphemy to him, as it is. But he thinks, well, maybe this is his true calling. This is actually what the martyr had in line for him. He shall kill the Salosians to free the emissary.
And once we have freed the emissary, Keriff, you can then have the luxury of taking your time to work out whether it is heretical or whether this person is just mentally disturbed, and you can satisfy yourself properly rather than on a knee-jerk reaction.
Am I right in thinking this is an out of character question, that not many people have actually seen the emissaries? It's been a while since I've read the books.
Has been seen. I should say, is human. He looks masculine, but he refers to himself in a non-gendered way. They refer to themselves, I should say, in a non-gendered way. Just seeing you putting up over they appear on the council, and the first inkling that there was something wrong was they didn't make their appearance on the council a few days ago. That's been in the news. Not very
Do they tend to carry themselves around the station, for example? So, sort of Joe Public would recognize them.
No, not particularly, but Joe Public will have seen images of them on the bulletin.
Yeah.
Cool. So you've got a vague idea of what they look like.
Okay.
Are you explaining, Tony, Yaquob and Oshian, who you think have the emissary?
I suspect at this stage, full disclosure is probably appropriate, don't you, Yaquob?
Yes, I would think so.
Go on then.
Disclose.
We think it's the same guys who've been going around basically taking out and killing the mystics, who are called the Martyrs, I think is what they call themselves, who are a strike.
More chance to kill more Zalosians.
Yeah, so
false prophets.
So we think they've been taking the mystics to somewhere in the cellar called the Real Sanatorium. Is that what Brother Bremis's information was telling us?
Yeah.
Well, presumably they are just killing them. I don't know. We don't really know that for sure, but they certainly have killed some just without taking them down there. There have been kind of 6 recent murders of
so-called mystics.
These mystics. But anyway, they're Zalosian. There's a strike force called the Martyrs. They're Zalosian, so they're definitely worth killing.
Presumably, the Real Sanatorium is the den of iniquity here that Zalos is using to undertake all their evil and nefarious operations on Coriolis. So if we can take that out and kill a lot of Zalosians in the process and rescue them, the emissary, I think the future is ours to write, gentlemen.
I'm also going to explain that there's a close family friend of mine called Noor, who was kind of how we got into this in the first place, who also had these mystical powers, has also gone missing. So as well as trying to find the emissary, either we're not being paid to find her. It's right, definitely my main objective is actually to find her, even though that's not our paid job. I definitely want to find her as well. So I think, again, in the interest of full disclosure, I should explain that to these fine gentlemen that you've hired, Oshian.
So we're getting the girl and finding the treasure.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
that
Pretty
also.
much.
I'm on board with that.
Ramos's map suggests that on the 5th level underground there is a marked staircase that leads further down into the cellar.
From the map that we looked at earlier, do we know where the real sanatorium is?
No.
No, well, that would have been helpful if Ramos had marked that on the map, wouldn't it?
If you remember, he said, and I quote, "They take them to a place they call the real sanatorium. I know that it must be somewhere in the cellar, but not exactly where. You will have to find it yourselves. Maybe there are others who can help you. Remember me in your prayers." It was just last week, Dave.
Yeah, it was a whole week ago. Come
Yeah,
on.
lots happened between now and then and now.
And,
Yes.
I still haven't got over the interviewing these 3 gentlemen, you know, in the naked in the hammam. Frankly, that's going to be a horror show in my head for weeks.
With the news that we are indeed going to be going to find an emissary, I do feel now is a time that I would like to just spend a little while to gather my thoughts and pay some respects and make a little sort of gesture towards a good fortune for this hunt.
Kassim, can I just suggest we do that once we've found the way out of the sanatorium?
Perhaps.
Because I may wish to join you in doing something similar.
This is fair, but I think it's important we do this before we embark on anything more treacherous.
Okay. Well, let's get out of the sanatorium first, then, shall we?
Go on then.
Just because, you know, if we get caught here, all of us praying in this padded room, someone will just lock it, won't they?
Well, I didn't go in, but fine.
Okay, as you wander down the stairs, or down to the 4th floor, you can
Obviously
actually
moving
notice there is
quietly.
a disused hospital chapel on this level. If people want to make prayer, then they would pray in the chapel and get +2 on their rerolls. I'm just realizing, Oshian and Yaquob, you were so good in praying in the other campaign. You haven't done any preparatory prayer.
No,
we haven't.
Well, I kind of feel that my character is so.
You're Zenithian. You don't.
Well, I'm not
believe-
Zenithian, but I hate the first come, and I kind of
don't like all that ceremony.
no. Just kind of.
Okay, there is a chapel
literally.
for those who want to pray on the way down.
Does that only give you rerolls to the?
You choose
yeah,
one
exactly.
icon to pray to in the chapel.
Exactly.
Choose wisely.
well, Keriff has only one.
Yeah.
Well, he's on Zine. You could go and visit him, honestly.
After you've exterminated every Zelosian first, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to offer a prayer to the dancer.
Excellent choice. Well, maybe I have to make a note of this in case you try and convince me. Oh, no.
Definitely.
And I've just realised I had all my my table of all the different icons bookmarked, but I've since updated my PDF and I've
all your
lost that
bookmarks.
bookmark. Yeah.
57 is the page
That's it.
number.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. I'm not trying to make it very showy. I don't really want these people to see, but I will offer a quiet
Meditation.
quiet word to the I think the dancer probably.
Go on, let's see you do the dance then.
Yeah, okay, I'll do it. I'll just turn my video off.
Okay.
I'm gonna go gambler instead because that's observation.
Yeah, I'm going to
Gambler.
pray to the judge.
I'm going to pray to the judge also.
And obviously,
Well, Keriff is also praying to the Martyr.
okay. So then you get onto the 5th floor, and this is dank and wet and almost entirely unused. It's full of the guts of the sanatorium, but you follow the map to a location which has got a relatively new fitted electronic lock on it.
Was there more than one route down out of the sanatorium? Was this the only one?
This is the one, yeah.
Right, okay. Yaquob, do you want to hack that? Or do you want to open it without somebody knowing we're opening it? Or anybody else who's...
I can try that. Who's got... Anyone else got data gin skills?
Has anybody got a security tablet, which you could, just looking at it, you think you're going to need a little bit of extra equipment to make it work?
And I've got a security tablet.
No.
No. Okay.
Okay. So it'll be at -1 then without the security tablet.
You asked for brawn, not brains.
Yeah, we could just blow the bloody door off.
That's true.
Nobody
That's
asked you
true.
to do that.
Shall I have a go at opening this?
Can anybody help him?
I can say, open the door. You do well to...
Are you making a command roll?
yes. You do well to open that door, or we'll have to use this one breach charger that I brought with me.
Which won't go well for our covert nature of leaving this place, will it?
No, exactly. I'm going to re-roll that.
Okay, I will take darkness.
How many darkness points now, Matthew?
I now have 9 darkness points.
Okay, there's 2 extra dice for you, Tony.
Okay, so I'm at -1 because I haven't got a security
tablet.
But I get 2 extra for... Okay, that gives me 7. Okay, that gives me 1 success. Is that enough?
Okay. You can shut the door about... Well, everybody can squeeze through, but it's going to be a squeeze. But that's as far as you can get it to open.
And what do we see through it?
And you see a staircase leading down into the darkness. I hope you brought torches.
Of course. Everybody always carries torches.
Never get over that torches. You know, no line of
Flaming
business.
sticks.
Smoke grenade, that's like a torch, right?
10-foot poles and a bag of flour as well. So,
Okay.
I'm thinking Keriff is having his proximity sensor on passive mode.
Okay.
In case, so I've said that whenever you ask us to.
Right.
Okay,
And I do have I've got a command unit which enables me to help with issuing commands if we get split up. So I'm going to ensure that that's all synced up.
So you head down the stairs, and then they turn into spiral staircases, and then there's a hatch in the floor which opens up to a ladder.
okay.
Can we see how far down the ladder goes?
further than you can see in the dark.
Even
We
shining
drop one
our
of the torches and let's
Yep,
see it fall down.
Drop something down. A considerable length down.
Not sure we're really doing that, actually. This is a covert action.
Okay. Fine.
Nice idea in in D&D maybe, but
So we have a choice of trying to go down sneakily, or just whoever's the most sturdy and well armed going down first.
Well, then those aren't necessarily mutually exclusive, are they? We can go
No,
down
absolutely
sneakily,
not.
but still send the sturdiest and best armed
Look,
first.
I'm not giving my protective pants to.
Yeah, but do those kind of protective pants stop bullets, though, Phil?
Only if I get shot on the bottom. Right. Well.
Okay, who was scared of first then?
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Right,
Ghazi,
start-
and
I'll go
Ghazi,
first.
I'll
Start climbing down.
Yeah, I'll get it. I'm a compulsive thrill seeker. I'm not hesitating. I'm down as well. I'm going down as well. I'll go down
and
second.
I will as well. I'll join third.
I'm happy to come the last there, Keriff, if you want to go forth.
Will do.
And I'll shot the hatch as I come through it, Matt.
Good plan.
Okay. So I'm going to, given the time available for this session, I'm going to kind of just narrate and describe. You end up going through a maze of corridors. So you reach the bottom. You're looking for a central shaft on your map. Let's just bring that back into play. Give me a moment. And where has it gone? There it has. Share that and do that. So here's our map. You're going through this. You're basically your long drop of the ladder is down here, but you want to try and get into this central shaft, which is your real navigation. And to get here, there's quite a maze of corridors and ladders and staircases. There's a place where the staircase is missing and you have to jump for it. But you notice that the further you go down, the less gravity seems to have an effect. You're getting you're feeling lighter in yourselves. When you make that jump over the staircase, you find it easier to do.
Is that normal as you get further down in Coriolis then? Now, would we have been down to the cellar before?
Hard, not if somebody of your class. Generally, you've got a living, so no, the cellar is
not even in the course of our work. We wouldn't have.
Probably upper bits of the. Well, yeah, you may be aware of it. Yeah, so you think it's relatively normal that that
they turn the power down.
Gravity
further
generators
down
down here are less efficient, or the effect of the gravity generators is less felt.
This central spire bit, Matt, this is all public space, yeah? So it'll be crammed full of people, will it?
This bit here, well,
The central spire part when we get into it.
Not necessarily crammed full of people, no.
No, okay.
This is almost an alien culture to you guys. There are Skavara down here. There are various fugitives and cultures down here, but this is more like a descent into hell than you're really used to.
Okay.
It's not a place that you will ever feel comfortable in.
Okay.
So as you head down, Dave, can I get you to do an observation test at -1?
Is this to avoid surprise or spot a sneak attack?
No.
-1. So that's 6 dice then. Okay. I get 3 successes.
All right. Okay. So you're come to an area where there's a deep shaft down that you're having to edge around on a sort of relatively thin access corridor around not a sort of gantry is the word I'm looking for, a gantry that goes around the edge of this shaft. And you're keeping your eyes peeled as usual, Dave, and you spot a few meters up from you in this shaft. There's a sort of I-beam going across. You're not entirely sure what it's part of. But there is a Vulcan carbine, like you saw the guard, the fake guard, carrying, and you were suspicious of because Coriolis guard don't carry these Vulcan carbines. One of those kind of pinned to the underside of that that beam, quite unnaturally. It's like gravity is upside down in the center of that shaft, and it's being held there by gravity. It just looks odd to you.
Is there any way I can reach in to try and grab that carbine?
No, it's out of reach. It's a few meters away, unless you can fly.
Well, if
is there a lack of gravity there? Yeah.
If gravity's going the other way.
Well, it's low. It's not going the other way.
So is this carbine?
You could make a jump for it, but you will fall down the shaft.
Okay, but the carbine, is it held underneath this beam by nothing that we can see other than an assumption that gravity has gone the other way?
So it could be that the force of gravity is enough to lift the carbine, but it's not enough, or anti-gravity, but it's not enough to lift a person.
Okay, I'm going to take a coin out of my pocket, Matt, and I'm going to chuck it underneath where the carbine is and see what happens to it.
I'm going to ask you to make a ranged combat roll to aim that coin into the spot that will give you the information.
Okay, that's not too bad. That's 6 dice. Can I do an aimed shot then? Can I aim to get it in the right place?
I guess that's what you're trying to do. Yeah, so you can take your time doing it.
I get 2 successes that time.
2 successes. Okay, so it costs a couple of burr. Mark them off on your character sheet.
It's been an expensive day already. A couple of burr won't make any difference.
The first one you miss with, and although it falls slowly down the shaft, it falls down the shaft.
But more slowly than it should do.
Yeah, slowly.
Okay.
Noticeably slower than a meter per second or whatever the acceleration of gravity is. But you feel you could do better with your shot, so you spend another burr and you get it right beneath the gun, and in that sort of tiny well, you don't imagine it's more than centimeters wide. It does indeed fly up and land as though gravity is working the other way on the gun. Then it bounces off the gun, comes out and drops down the shaft.
Right, okay. Okay, so how did this gun get there other than being carelessly dropped by one of the people that we were following? Is that all it's proving for us, that we are on the right track?
It's probably proving that at the very least, but it's an unnatural thing.
What kind of a soldier drops his weapon?
I've got to say, I'm kind of annoyed because if you hadn't prayed to the icons in a chapel just beforehand, I would have got 4 darkness points for the unnaturalness of this.
Well done, Kassim. Good reminder that we need to keep the icons in mind all the time.
So I'm looking at this and I'm trying to put 2 and 2 together, and whether or not I say it out loud, I'm thinking maybe someone who's fallen down the shaft and let go of his weapon in the process.
Potentially.
Hmm.
How deep is this shaft, Matt?
Well, as far as you can see, it's one of these other ones that goes beyond sight, and the
Okay.
coins that you dropped seem to be going for ages.
We
Right.
haven't heard them hit the bottom.
Okay.
How wide is it? How far across?
It's meters wide, probably 4, 5, 6 meters wide.
Okay.
You can hear, though, in the direction you were going, that you feel you're not far from slightly more civilized, I say civilized, slightly more populated parts of the cellar. In the distance, you can hear the crack of gunshots and the occasional shouts of workers.
So this
Civilization.
yeah, gunshots, civilization. Yeah. This gantry, so our path through this shaft was around the edge of the gantry. It wasn't going down the shaft.
No.
Right. Okay. Shall we keep on going, gentlemen?
Yep, I thought so.
I'm at the back
Yes.
anyway, so I'm not sure who's
Yes.
first. I think Ghazi's first, aren't you?
Yes.
So as you walk,
Happy to say first.
who's first?
Me.
Okay. Can I get to make an observation roll?
Yes. Not great. One success.
One success. For one success, I will say that you notice about the same time as they do a couple of figures skulking ahead of you. Now, these are the first other people you've seen so far. They thought they'd gone somewhere private to do some sort of transaction. When they see you at the same time you see them, they just scarper. They just head off in the direction that you're traveling towards civilization. But you've obviously disturbed them doing something. Then as you go on a little bit further, as you pass a screen, a monitor clicks to life and starts advertising at you some ancient show that you remember from your childhood on the bulletin, but it's slightly freaky. And then just ahead of you, you can see and hear and smell some form of civilization, some more light, some shouts and workers. You can see some repair being made and sparks sort of flying from a gantry as some sort of welding job is being done. But we will bring this session to an end at this point and carry on next week, if that's okay with you guys.
Of course.
Cool. Yeah.
One thing we didn't do at the beginning of this session is introduce our new players. So our listeners know Tony and Dave reasonably well, but I wonder whether, although they've introduced us to their characters, well done, thank you very much for that, Dave. But I wonder whether the players should, before we go, give a little brief introduction before they say goodbye.
Take the map. Do you want to take the map down, Matt?
We should do that, yes. Stop share, and
Cool.
I will go into speaker view so everybody's glorious faces can be seen. And in order, I will go Phil first.
So I'm Phil. I'm a GM and role player, primarily showcasing Swedish role-playing games, and I run games at David's Bookshop when it reopens in Letchworth.
Excellent. And we've seen you before on some of our streamed things. You ran an excellent Simba Room game on our YouTube channel before. And Neil.
I'm Neil from Paladin Role Playing. We make dice and other cool accessories for role-playing games. You can find us at paladinroleplaying.com.
We'll put a link in the show notes.
We will.
Thank you. Much appreciated. And Yeah, I've been role playing for years, but I'm quite new to the wonderful world of Free League. I discovered the Effect podcast and everything Free League about a year or 18 months ago, give or take. And I'm a very keen Simbroom GM.
Excellent. And Nick, actually, I only know you by your nickname.
Nicholas.
Yeah,
Nicholas,
it's
yes.
Nicholas. Yes. So I'm Nicholas Jareborg in Swedish, or Jareborg in
English.
Jareborg,
English-ish.
that's how we
Yes,
call it.
yeah,
Yes, I
yeah,
remember.
I'm once upon a time, at the dawn of time, I played Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Then I've for many years been doing improv theater, but then realized I should try to mix these two things together again. So maybe 2 years ago, I again found some people and started playing role-playing games. And have now bought several meters worth of books.
We all.
Excellent.
Not playing
Well,
many of them. Yeah.
we will get into the meat of the adventure next week, and I expect you'll be with us for about 3 or 4 weeks, completing the final act of In the Wake of the Martyr. But thank you for joining us for these. And I should say that all 3 of these guys are patrons of the Effect podcast, and you too, listeners, can be a patron by going to patreon.com/effect. I'm getting better at this social marketing thing.
You are getting better, yeah. And then you could be here one day joining us in
Playing a game with us.
In your bathroom.
Come on. If I had a picture of
That's
my
really selling each other, isn't it?
if I had a picture of
I'm
my
about
real
to
bathroom,
quit the stream.
then that would be